Okay, let's welcome our speaker, Jeffrey Morlock from North Carolina. Jeffrey is a family man. He is a retired Army, he served in Navy, and he visited many countries in the world. Jeffrey is a writer. He has written many books. Few of them are General Prophecy, Cannibal's Culture, To Change Your World, Change Your Thoughts, and many more. Also, he's a writer of ONPASSIVE ebook. He has joined in ONPASSIVE in 2018, as far as I know, and he has stand on the fence for a couple of days or months, then only he jumped. So that means he has got a lot of knowledge before he jump in it. Also, being a writer of ONPASSIVE ebook, he has tons of knowledge. He has close connection with our respected CEO Asmofara, who is a kind-hearted man, as we know that. I have spoke once with him in one of the Zoom in PNG Zoom at 3 o'clock midnight or in the morning. So he has got good touch with Asmofara too, and he has got a lot of knowledge. And here today he is going to share with us. Welcoming all of our friends. Before I give platform to Jeffrey, I just want to give 2 minutes to Narayan to do housekeeping in Nepali language, in our language. So everybody will understand. If somebody is, I don't think that English problem, but then also if there is anyone, so they may understand clearly. So he will say 2 minutes. He will speak 2 minutes. That's housekeeping. Then we will give platform to Jeffrey. Narayan is muted.
Sorry. Thank you very much to Mr. Narayan Pokhrel. I would like to thanks Jeffrey Morlock, our second brother Milo, and Julie. We are very, very fortunate enough today to have you in our program again. So we are really hopeful to get tons of knowledge on passive. Now let us jump to our community friends in Nepali. Just 2 minutes housekeeping things. आदरणीय दाजुभाइ तथा दिदीबहिनीहरू नमस्ते। आज हामी एकदमै छोटो समयमा तर एकदमै राम्रो ठुलठुलो 3 जना लिडर्सहरू एकैचोटि हामीसँग आज आउनु भएको छ। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि आजको हाम्रो बसाइ छोटो र मिठो हुनेछ भन्ने हामीले आशा गरेका छौं र सधैँभन्दा आज अलिकति पृथकसँगले हामीले यो कार्यक्रमलाई चलाउनु पर्छ भन्ने लागेको छ। हुन त त्यसै पनि आज हामी नम्बर्समा अलि कम्ती छौं र बुझेकै मान्छेहरू नयाँ साथीहरू खासै देखिनु भएको छैन। तर पनि हामीले यो बेसिक क्वेशन्सहरुलाई चाहिँ यो हाम्रो साधारण क्वेशन्सहरु यस्तो गेस्ट आएका बेलामा हामीले सोध्ने गर्यौं भने त्यसले धेरै समय खाने भएकोले गर्दाखेरि आजको बसाइमा हामी साधारण क्वेशन्सहरु या हाम्रा सधैँ चलिरहेका क्वेशन्सहरु साधारण क्वेशन्सहरु आज हामी नसोधौं भन्ने हामी अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छौं। किनभने साधारण क्वेशन्सहरु हामीले धेरै चोटि एन्सर दिइसकेका छौं र फेरि पर्यो भने हामी बसेको बेलामा गर्न सकिन्छ। त्यसकारणले बेसिक क्वेशन आज नसोधौं भन्ने म रिक्वेस्ट गर्न चाहन्छु। दोस्रो एकजना साथीलाई हामी एउटा क्वेशन सोध्नलाई हामी अनुमति दिन्छौं। हामीले कृपया सबै साथीहरुले म्युट गरेर बस्नुपर्छ। अस्तिको हाम्रो जुम मिटिङमा ब्याकग्राउन्ड हल्लाहरू अलिकति आयो र हाम्रो गेस्ट स्पिकरहरु बोल्दा बोल्दै हामीले रोक्नुपर्ने अवस्था आएको थियो र हामी जति बेरसम्म यसमा बस्छौं गेस्टहरु हुने जेलसम्म हामी एकदम वेल डिसिप्लिनमा बस्नुपर्छ र बाहिरको हल्ला पटक्कै आउन दिनु हुँदैन र हामीसँग जे जिज्ञासाहरू भयो भने अन्तिममा हामीले हात रेज गरेर हामी एकजनाले एउटा क्वेशन सोध्न पाउँछौं। सबैजनालाई हामीले मौका दिन खोज्दै छौं र यदि फलो अप क्वेशन भयो भने दुईटा सोध्न पाइन्छ। फलो अप क्वेशन्सको लागि दुईटा र मेन क्वेशन्सको लागि एउटा र क्वेशन्स यदि आफूभन्दा अगाडिको साथीले त्यही क्वेशन सोधिसक्नु भएको छ भने हामीले रिपिट गर्नु हुँदैन, किनभने यो रेकर्डिङ छ, हामी भरे गएर हेर्न सक्छौँ त्यसका एन्सर्सहरू। त्यो पनि म भन्न चाहन्छु साथीहरूलाई। अर्को यो समय चाहिँ आज हाम्रो चाहिँ विशेष गरी के भयो भन्दाखेरि तीनजना मेन व्यक्तित्वहरू हुने भएकोले गर्दाखेरि आज हामीले धेरै समय चाहिँ उहाँहरूलाई दिउँ भन्ने लाग्छ मलाई। किनभने जहिले पनि हामीले बोल्नुभन्दा पनि यस्तामा चाहिँ सुन्नलाई चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ, किनभने त्यहाँबाट धेरै थाहा पाइन्छ। हामीसँग जेफ्री, मार्लोक, माइलो र जुली भएकोले गर्दाखेरि उनीहरूसँग राम्रो नलेज छ। र केली आई डोन्ट नो केली कस्तो हो, नयाँ हो कि लिडर चाहिँ हो, मलाई थाहा छैन उहाँको चाहिँ। र म समय धेरै नलिकन म्युटको विषयमा एकदम स्ट्रिक्टली एकजनालाई एउटा क्वेसन र फलोअप क्वेसन छ भने 2टा र बेसिक क्वेसन्सहरू पटक्कै नसोधिदिनु होला, किनभने बेसिक क्वेसनले के गर्दो रहेछ भन्दा हाम्रो कम्युनिटी कस्तो छ भन्ने उनीहरूलाई हुँदो रहेछ। यो सबै रेकर्डिङहरू उनीहरूले आजसम्म पनि पुऱ्याइराखेको हामीले थाहा पाएको छौँ। र जहिले पनि त्यही क्वेसन्सहरू आएको गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ यिनीहरू खोज्दा रहन्छन्, हेर्दा रहन्छन्, सिस्टमभित्र छिर्दै रहन्छन् भनेर हामीलाई नै यसले तल पुऱ्याउँछ कि जस्तो एउटा फिलिङ गरेको मात्रै हो। यद्यपि हामी एउटै फ्यामिलीभित्रका मान्छे भएकोले गर्दा यो कतै कोही ठुलो हुने कोही सानो हुने होइन, हामी सबै फाउन्डर्स बराबरी हो। त्यस कारणले गर्दाखेरि हामीभित्र पनि कतिवटा कुराहरू छलफल गरेर चाहिँ साधारण कुराहरू चाहिँ गर्न सकिन्छ। अब बेसिक क्वेसन के, ठुलो क्वेसन के भन्ने पनि एउटा डिबेट होला। तर बेसिक भनेका पहिलेदेखि सोध्दै आएका $97 के हो, एडमिसन फी के हो, 149 कहिले, अनि यो कहिले सफ्ट लन्च कहिले हार्ड लन्च, यी कुराहरू गर्नु हुँदैन। साधारण कुराहरू जुन हामीले सधैँ भन्दै आएका कुराहरूलाई चाहिँ रिपिट नगरौँ भन्दै म फेरि ब्याक नारायण सरबाट जान चाहन्छु। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Narayan, for housekeeping. So without delay, we are almost 28. This is also a good number because today is the weekday and most of our friends are at work. So they will listen our recorded record which we upload in YouTube. So let me welcome Jeffrey Morlock. Jeffrey, please, you have a lot of knowledge about ONPASSIVE. Please give us a short presentation about ONPASSIVE, what you have learned and what you have believed on it. A short presentation, then we'll jump to a Q&A.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so very much. You guys got me all excited this evening. I don't get to come on this late sometimes, so my house is kind of quiet, except for I'm closed in the living room here and loving life and looking at all these friends and these faces. And, you know, life goes on and life is good and it's just going to get better with ONPASSIVE. So I liked what you said earlier about me being on the fence for a bit, because you're absolutely right. When I first was invited to ONPASSIVE, I told my sponsor that it wouldn't work, and then told him I didn't want any part of it. And 2 or 3 days later, he came back and said, "Gee, I really would like you to take a look at it." So I said, "You know what? I'll take a look. I'll document what I find, and I will show you why it won't work." Famous last words, right? The documentation that I started ended up being the ebook. And what sold me, again, you are absolutely right when you were talking earlier about Mr. Mufara and Mr. Mufara's heart, because I'd gotten to a point where I could not learn any more information about GoFounders without joining and getting in the back room. And I thought that was pure genius by Mr. Mufara, because he knows that people's curiosity is going to get the better of them. So I joined and I started listening to his webinars. And by the second or maybe the third, I think it may have been the first, I don't know, but I know it was his webinars and listening to his vision, listening to his heart and where he wanted to go. That's what sold me. That's what that caused me to jump off the fence, as you had said earlier, because his vision wasn't a boatload of promises about people going to get rich real fast. It was a vision about doing something good and building something together with connectedness for the mutual benefit of everybody that would join. And even at the time, we weren't sure what that was going to be or how big it was, but we started growing. And I'll tell you, it's like I told the other young man a little bit ago. I expected once we first got in that we would have launched by February of 2019, and we all did. But we started growing so fast and got so much momentum that Mr. Mufara and his team had to grow big real fast and start putting a lot more money and a lot more effort and a lot more strategy into it. So that's kind of how we got going into things. Um, the way I see on passive now is uh, it is a part of a global shift in consciousness. It's a part of the entire world and the world of economics that we all now have is growing to a proportion that a lot of the old capitalism and a lot of the way business has been done is going by the wayside. And we are the new model, especially for online. We are a model of connectedness. We understand that everybody is connected and we've all got a part and we all can share and we can all help all others to benefit by what we do as a whole. And his whole philosophy is not one to make several people in on passive, filthy rich. It is to raise up the entire on passive membership. It's to raise up the entire community of founders to eventually become a group, a global group, a net, if you will, of abundance providers for everybody in the world. Because we're gonna have enough where we'll have more than enough than what we need so that we'll be able to share. And that's the beauty of this entire thing as far as a whole on passive and where it's going to go. Um, if you have specific questions, I would certainly love to answer those. I want to make you aware, though, that you have also got Julie and Milo here, and they are excellent resources for information. And I know that there's others here with information. So if you have any questions or anything in particular that you'd like to ask, I would love to answer anything at all. I know that your first question, what is On Passive? Well, On Passive is an AI IT company. It is probably now, in my own personal belief, one of the biggest platforms on the planet as far as digital marketing goes. You know that we have at least 50 departments, maybe a little more. We will have more in the future. We'll continue to grow, continue to develop the technology and develop more programs, and we will continue to grow in every way. It's just what we do. It's what'll happen. It's not going to slow down. It's just going to get bigger and better. All of the departments that we have now probably have somewhere in the neighborhood of 130 to 150 different tools, and every one of those are integrated through AI, and every one of those on the entire platform are made to work with each other, and they're all under one roof. So as an AI IT company, you will not have to go anywhere else to find anything else that you need to either create, to maintain, or build your online presence or business. We are just a massive AI IT platform, and we are the new business model. So that's kind of what we are. Do you have
Thank
other
you.
questions that I can answer specifically?
Thank you, Jeffrey. I have one question. Then I want to ask. I want to give the floor to our friends. I have seen your video. One of the video related to ONPASSIVE, connecting the dots.
Oh yeah.
Connecting the dots. So I am speaking on behalf of our friends, those who have not seen that video, exactly what you mean to say about connecting the dots related to ONPASSIVE. Can you explain a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. That was kind of when the video started out, what I wanted to do was to put out the information that a previous founder had given us. It was there's a young lady on the leadership council, and her name is Janet Butler. She had provided a sheet that had, I think, 10. Yeah, yeah, there were 10 things that she had talked about in that particular sheet that she had wanted to get across. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, this is kind of neat. I think I like that. Now, at the same time, there was a video that had happened. Um, I want to say it was about 3 weeks ago with PNG, and Mr. Mufara had gone on to that video, and there was an 8 point or about an 8 minute section in that I just, oh, I fell in love with the guy in ONPASSIVE all over again. I mean, it was just such a very succinct, very telling 8 minutes that after I listened to it, I went back and listened to it again, and then I cut it out, and I took that 8 minutes and put it in its own little video. But I coupled it with the 10 points that Janet had written down, and obviously, I mean, I modified some of those and those reasons. You know, the 10 reasons to join, and 10 reasons why you wanted to get into ONPASSIVE. So when you take those 10 reasons, and then you've got the head knowledge, right? When you got those 10 reasons, you know technically this is who we are and what we do, and these are the reasons I want to get in. But in connecting those together, connecting the dots really also went one step further. So when you listen to that video and then you listen to the 8 minutes with Mr. Mufara, you're now able to connect not only the reasons why you want to connect and join ONPASSIVE, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're looking to make money, or if you're looking to start a business or create a business, or having to be able to run your business a lot less expensively, you can now take all that information and you can connect it with understanding who Mr. Mufara is, what the vision is, the heart that he's got, and some of the hearts of the people that are in the company. And by connecting those together, you get a global picture, if you will, of ONPASSIVE. And that's what I was talking about when I said connecting the dots. And I would certainly suggest anybody that wants to get that kind of an over preview of ONPASSIVE, go look at that video, the one that's called Connecting the Dots, because it's got me explaining Janet's 10 reasons to join, plus Mr. Mufara. But I also took and separated those two out. So if you just want to see Mr. Mufara, there is there's a video that's only Mr. Mufara, and there's another video called 10 Reasons to Join ONPASSIVE, which is only the 10 reasons. But I would certainly suggest, and while I'm at it, I guess I could put out there that if anybody looking at any of my videos, if you want any of the scripts or if you want any of the PowerPoints, I've got them all available. I can send them to you. They're editable. You can change languages. I mean, they're yours to do with whatever you'd like to do with them.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Exactly why I raised that question regarding connecting the dot. I just want to tell our friends that is very informative, and if you get a chance, have a look at it or listen at it. It is in YouTube. So Jeffrey has presented very well in that video. So my concern is to ask our friends to see that video and learn more about what does that connecting the dots means. Okay, now friends, there is a reactions button at the right hand side. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. Click there. There is a place to raise the hand, and you can go ahead and ask the question. You can ask to Jeffrey, you can ask to Milo, Julie, and many more friends are there. I see M. Kelly also somewhere. So we can ask questions to.
I think it is better to give 2-3 minutes to talk to Milo and Julie, and then we can go to the question and answer session.
Okay.
Because
okay.
they might have some new updates.
Okay, go ahead, Milo.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight, man? It's good to see you again, man. It's so great to be with you here with my friend Jeffrey Morlock. The guy is awesome. Me and Jeffrey will sit down. We'll talk. Sometimes it seems like I call him up to talk for just a couple minutes, and it ends up being an hour gone before we forget. But the guy is deep into this stuff, man. And man, on passive, Jeffrey, we learn every day, don't we? We've been here for 2 years, 2.5 years, and every day, man, it seems like there is something that, and it's always better. That's the thing that's so cool about it. You know, we think that we kind of get it, you know, and we got start to wrap our head around it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you mean you can do that? You can use APIs on your wallet. You can do this. You can do that. I'm telling you, if you're not getting in, man, you're missing the boat. It's so good to be with Narayan and Narad and the rest of you, man. We had such a fun time the other night. But thank you so much for giving a shout out. Thank you very much. It's good to be here with you tonight. And Jeffrey. And I don't know if you heard Jeffrey's new song, but it's great, man. Jeffrey did a new song that he just put out. I love it.
Thank you, Milo. Yes, I have already I have listened that. Julie, I would like to request Julie. She's driving. Okay. Take 2 minutes, Julie.
Hi, hello everyone. Hello Jeffrey. Hello Milo. Hello everyone here. Thank you Narayan and Narad to have us here. On passive is what we wake up to, sleep in with it, eat it, and dream about it every single day. And on passive is the subject that it's never ending, because every single time when we sit together, especially at the Julie and Milo show, we talk to many founders. And the beautiful thing about it is that people don't really talk about what they're going to do with the money that coming out of it. We call it the apples. They don't talk about owning fancy cars. They don't talking about owning a few Rolexes. They're talking about what they're going to do with the money, travel the world, getting to know more people, and helping other people. And that's a beautiful thing of it. I mean, every single already interview over 100 founders, and that's what everyone's saying. You know, so on passive, it is something I feel that it is an opportunity for us to connecting with each other. It's an opportunity for us to be together. It is an opportunity for us to have the ability to create, the ability to make decision easier than what we're doing right now. Because many of us, when we go out there and we want to buy something, or even we want to help other people, we can't do that because our tummy is not enough. We don't have enough to take care of our family yet. So I believe, I see that on passive is another way for us to be able to live in terms of generosity, in terms of connecting, and be able to not everything. It's not about you. It's about the world. It's about the world that we're living in. It's about our children. And so it is a way. I believe on passive is going to be the new word, a new word in the world dictionary. You know, not just us here in the community, but it is it's a new word in our dictionary. And I believe that very truly, that it's here, it's coming. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Julie. Sharing your experience or feeling. Yes, I also feel same thing in our community, that we heard late. It's only about 3 months, and still we are getting more and more knowledge and solving our questions. But I have attended many of the Zoom meetings now. Our senior friends, they have started talking about traveling to the world, how to invest that money, what we get, where to go, where to meet. And we are still lingering on the basic questions, and we are some of our friends are not still understood clearly, but they have joined it and they are trying to learn about it. The reason of not having exact knowledge what on passive is we don't have time to see the videos. My conclusion, we don't have a time to attend webinars of the world, and we don't have a time to talk one-to-one seriously. So this is the reason why we are still in the basic questions of ONPASSIVE. So I just want
filter yang bisa di belakang. Okay,
just I want to request my friends, if you have a free time, just if you click on some of the webinars are going around the world, so just get connected there. You'll hear something important. You will get your answers from those seminars. Especially I want to request to attend African seminar where Charles Oslo and Maria Favet organize, and they are having a lot of answers there, because they have their country also growing. The people are joining there, so there might be some of the questions they have. So I request my friends to see and join those webinars too, Zoom meeting too. Okay, let's go back to our friends. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. I have specially requested to go through the ebooks, and few of my friends has requested that book. I have sent to them. I didn't post in our Facebook group because there might be some friends who had not joined ONPASSIVE. They are not the founders, so I did not share there. So I have asked you to send your email to me so I can pass it to you. What Jeffrey has sent me yesterday, the revised ebook, ONPASSIVE ebook. So still, if you are looking, you can send me your email. Those who have got the ebook, or if you have any questions, please let's go ahead. You can ask anyone, any leaders, the question.
Can I go?
Go ahead, brother.
How many questions do I get to ask?
2 questions.
2? All right,
Yeah.
too easy.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeffrey again. Hi, Milo. Hi, Julie, and everybody. All my brothers and sisters. Hey, yesterday I received an ebook around 1500 hours, around 3 p.m. By 4 p.m. I have read it like 3 times. Try to make sense. All right. There are a few things that I was kind of confused. All right. So I'm gonna go by page 21. You talked about subscription fees due every month to keep the membership active. We call it founder membership. So to keep that active, the subscription fees due every month, right? But right below on the next page, you talked about, I'm gonna read the whole statement on this one. So you said, or the book says, if you join right now and do nothing except subscribe once, hard lunch, by the end of the year, you could be making a few $1,000s a month. So I am kind of confused now. So are you actually talking about the subscription fee every month or just once? Page 21 and 22 has 2 different things
Jeffrey,
on it.
Jeffrey, you are muted.
Okay, is that better? Man, I hate that mute button. Okay, so what you're asking is, hey, I'm getting 2 different things here. You're saying I can earn a good amount of money past the first year, but you're also saying there's subscriptions due every month, and you're saying if I pay once, right? So I can see where the confusion is. Okay, so let's start with the subscriptions. Everybody knows there's only one subscription, right? We know that according to what Mr. Mufara has told us, it's going to be either, well, I think the range was like 150 to 250. So in my book, in all my videos, I say it'll be 250 or less. And that way it kind of covers me, so that if it's less than 250, people will be happy. If it's more, well, it's not going to be more than 250 because he said it wouldn't be. So if you set the expectation at 250 or less, I think that we're all on the same page. Now, the part where I say you pay it one time out of pocket kind of works like this. If you buy into GoFounders, you pay the 97 bucks and you don't do anything else. You kind of sit and you wait. We go through soft launch and then we launch. At that launch, because you are a founder, ONPASSIVE is going to start with the super campaigns, and you are going to be included in those super campaigns. Now we're expecting, I think very conservatively, about one founder a month to go into your team for the uh, first campaign, which they say will take 60 to 90 days or something. So I always say, 90 days, right, for the first campaign. And for every campaign after that, we're expecting minimally to multiply your team by 3. In other words, you'll get another founder for each team member you've got. So a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, but a while back, and listening with Michael Williams, who is phenomenal. He's our resident number guy. He is schooled. I mean, his education is with numbers. He's got a degree in numbers, and better him than me. I mean, I'm good with numbers, but I don't want him floating in my head like he does. And what we had decided, I think what we came up with was, at the end of the first year, if you have done nothing, based on the growth that we can expect you to get through the campaigns from ONPASSIVE, that it would be very easy to say by that 12th month, you'll be earning a few thousand a month. See what I'm saying? Now it's going to start off slow because you're only going to have that first 90 days. You're only going to have probably somewhere between 3 and 6 members. But that second 3 months, it's going to multiply by 3. So if you have, say if you've got 3, and then you multiply each one of those by 3, which is really conservative, that's going to give you 9, right? And then 9 times 3 is 27, and then 27. So you're going to have 50 or 60 people in your team by the end of that year pretty easily. And by the end of the month, based on what we're assuming is going to be paid, because we're not really talking numbers. The legal team doesn't like talking numbers, but that's where all of that came from. Now, the one time out of pocket is what we expect, because we're expecting that anybody that hasn't really done anything with the company, they're going to end up paying out of pocket that first month. And then the following month, because we're really expecting them to have at least 3 people, the 3 people in their team will be paying 3 subscriptions into ONPASSIVE, and the founder's subscription for that month will be paid through the profits from those 3. That's where Mr. Mufara and the team came up with 3 and free, saying if you've got 3 people in your team, then that's going to make it, we say it's going to be free, but it's really not. It's just you're not paying it, somebody else is. So it's free to you, right? So that's kind of where the 3 and free, and that's why we're saying you pay one time out of pocket, and that's it. Now, if you're joining and you joined before we launch, and you start pre-building your network, which is a benefit of being a founder, you can use the GoFounders tools and the GoFounders community to pre-build your network. In other words, to bring founders in and to invite founders into your team. And then when we go into the soft launch, and there's going to be an increase in price, and I think that's what everybody says. Oh, when are we going to be in soft launch? And you hear me and others will say, we're in soft launch right now, because we're actually doing the alpha testing and we're getting into the beta testing of the products, which is soft launch. But I think a lot of people are trying to understand, wait a minute, I'm not making any money, so we're not in soft launch. Well, true enough. So I think that when people ask, when are we starting soft launch? The real question is, when is the price increase going to happen? Because I know when that happens, we're going to start putting money into the money flow program as we test it with beta and the marketing, and I'm going to earn some money in soft launch. So that's what we're looking for, is the price increase. Now, if you've started to build your team already, then once we're into that soft launch and they start doing marketing for the founders in soft launch, they're going to be marketing and putting founders into your teams before we launch, which means, that could be, sky's the limit there. You've already got some people with 1, 2, or 3 in their team, or 1, 2, or 3,000 in their team. They're already there, which means after we do the hard launch, you're already into profit. You're going to make money right out of the gate and it's not going to cost you a dime because you're going to have all those other members in your team paying your subscription. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know. You want it now, don't you? I'm like, me too, bro. I told my wife a year ago she was going to be able to retire in March of this year. Well, that didn't happen. So, but life is good.
Yeah, I hate to say this. It wasn't up to my expectations, but that's what I'm thinking at least. I'm just still trying to know. But when you say that other people are paying your subscription, you're pretty much making money off of that, right? So what is the product doing over there in the meanwhile? If we are actually getting commission out of the subscription fee that each and every founder members are paying every month, then what is the product doing? Look, like, you know what I'm saying? Like products out there. So what is it doing?
Okay. Think of it like this. Do you have a website, or do you have an online business? Well, it doesn't matter. Let's look at it like this. If I came in and I've got a box of widgets over here and I want to start selling widgets, right? And so I go to an online and I say, okay, what do I got to do to be able to sell these widgets? Well, I'm going to need a domain name. I'm going to need somebody to host it. I'm going to need emailing and bulk mailing so I can do all sorts of stuff and get traffic and send emails out and track them. I'm going to need some VPN to keep my security, right? I'm going to need a way to create funnels and website pages and send people there so I can collect their information. Then I'm going to have a way that I can not only collect that information, but I need to figure out how to get that information and then get back to them to try to sell them something. And then once I do sell them something, I got to have a way to collect that money. And then once I can collect that money, I need to make sure that that money is going to my bank or my wallet, or it's going to pay bills or wherever it's going. Now, I might want to do other things. You know, I may have to create videos. I may have to do Zoom webinars or webinars like Zoom. I may have to do any of 100 things that it takes to run my business, right? OnPassive has products, everything you could ever think of or imagine that you would need for an online presence or to create and maintain a business. So that's where the subscriptions are. People are coming to us saying, I'm already paying $1,200 a month to have a domain, to have it hosted for my VPN, and to have funnel pages, and it's killing me. And we're saying we can give you that and 100 times more for a whole lot less. That's what the products are doing. We are selling their products, creating their websites. We're doing all their marketing. We're driving traffic for them. We're collecting the money. We're making more sales. We're divvying that money up. We're sending it into their wallets or to their banks. That's what we're doing. We're creating that much value so that even people that currently have online businesses are going to flock to us because we will be able to provide to them what they've already got, a lot more than what they've got, and it's a lot better than what they've got, a whole lot cheaper than what they've got. Make sense?
Yeah, Crystal, appreciate it.
Now there's another part of this that I haven't told you about, and that's your part as a founder, because you become a reseller. Now, as a reseller, what we're saying is OnPassive is going to create for you your domain. You give it say, okay, I want to call it dillydilly.com. So you go to OnPassive and you register dillydilly.com, and you are a reseller. So now every one of the products, all 150 of them, all 50 departments, right? And it's going to get a lot bigger. I'm barely scratching the surface here of the majesticness of this. But everything that OnPassive has is now going to be in your website, right? And they are going to market that for you. They're going to sell it for you. They're going to collect the money for you, and they're going to pay you out of the profits for allowing them to do all this for you. That's what we mean when we say it's done for you. And that's a reseller. Now, as a customer, you're coming in and you're paying the subscription fee every month to run your domain and to run your website and to put all that up so that we do all the marketing for you. So, I mean, there's two different things. You can be a founder, you can be a reseller, and you can be a customer. As a founder, you are a reseller. But as a founder, you can also be a customer. But once we actually launch, founder position, it quits. They don't take any more founders. It's kind of like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is not going to have any more than 23 million Bitcoin. We're not going to have any more founders. Once we launch, it's done. It will never come back. And the founders we've got will be there forever and for generations, and life will be pretty good. And anybody that joins OnPassive after we launch has to be either a reseller or a customer, right? They can be both, but they cannot be a founder.
True.
So did that answer the questions?
Yeah, appreciate it.
My pleasure.
No,
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
leave the floor
Thank you.
for other people.
1 minute.
No, no, no,
1
I'm
minute.
not asking questions, sir. I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna leave the floor
Oh, okay.
to other people.
Okay,
I'm
thank
not
you.
asking.
Thank you. Thank you thank you, Dilibhai, for your very good question. That was very important question. I just want to ask Milo, is there anything to add to Jeffrey for Dilly's question? Is there anything, please, Milo?
Oh man, Jeffrey covered it all, man. When you hit all them points, man, it's going to be more than what we even think. I mean, we don't know the whole thing now, but what he covered is way lot more than, the main thing is just get in, man, get in.
Thank you.
And be with it,
Thank you very much. Is there anyone with the question? Let me ask Tika sir. I have shared my ebook to Tika Rizal sir. He might have some questions with him. Tika Rizal sir.
Hi, hello everybody. Hello Jeffrey, Milo, Julie, and the whole team. Good to see you all. I didn't get time to read the book. I definitely go through that. That is on my top list. I will do that now. And thank you for the book. And Jeff, thank you for writing such a good book. I've gone through the first version, really good. I had some questions there regarding the compensation plan and all that. So hope is answered there. And then, yeah, there are a lot of things that we cannot talk right now because we are not ready, but I'm expecting that to come up as time unfolds. So is on my waiting list. That's good. Now, many of my friends who ask me this question, okay, now I can be a founder, just one, okay, I can recruit 3 people. It says 3 and free, okay, I can go up to that, and then I can recruit many people. Now the question is, okay, what is the maximum we can do? Okay, this is what my friends ask me, do I have to recruit, okay, or just let me be a founder and then that's it, or do I have to recruit 3 people or recruit multiple people? Now, I know there's a difference in income. I know we are talking about bonus and all that. Now, what do you advise or what do you recommend, And this is going to be a unicorn company, a $1 billion company on startup. So what is your recommendation and how do we explain this to other people who are new to OnPassive?
Very good questions. Very good way to look at this too. My recommendation is whatever you feel good about. So I'll explain everything that you just asked about, and then maybe you'll understand a little better. And I know that once I finally got a hold of this in my own brain, I was like, wow, this is really kind of cool. So as far as recruitment, OnPassive does not believe in limits. Okay, so as far as how far can you go and what can you do, that is entirely up to you. You've got folks in OnPassive now with teams of greater than 100,000. I mean, that's pretty big. As far as do you need to recruit? You do not need to recruit. If you come in and you buy one founder position and you sit on the fence or you sit on, if you don't do anything at all, you don't do any recruiting, you will be successful. Eventually you will be, because OnPassive will do the marketing for your founder position, and those super campaigns that we're doing after we launch, they will multiply your team. And as your team multiplies, you will start creating residual income. And that residual income will grow and grow and grow and continue to grow. It'll become a legacy for you. If you want to, you can start pre-building your network before we even launch. I mean, you can do it as soon as you buy in and become a founder. You start sharing it with your friends, they say, whoa, this is pretty cool. They want to come in. They start being your team members, right? More founders, because each one of those becomes a leg or a potential leg of financial gain or income for you. Now, there's an advantage to that in that if you have 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, founders in your team before we start soft launch and they start marketing, that means that the marketing is going to be targeted to you as well and for all of your founders, which means the marketing is going to start to build not only your team, but your team members' teams. Okay? Now that's going to run all the way up through to the date that we launch or do the hard launch. And incidentally, the more founders you have in your team during this time, the greater the potential you will probably have for earning money before we launch. That could be a big deal, because if you've got founders that before we even launch have already earned back the money they paid for the founder position, my guess is they're going to buy some more positions and they're going to go, wow, the light goes on and life is going to get really good. Now, after we launch, then you got the super campaigns going, and those are going to continue to build the founders teams, and that's going to be really, really cool. So the thing is, the more that you can pre-build, the greater and faster your success is going to be. It would not surprise me at all. People with 8, 10, 12, and these are just numbers I'm throwing out. If you've got a dozen members in your team before we even start the soft launch, so that by the end of the time that we launch in the hard launch and you've got 20, 30, 40, 50 people, wow. Think about the first campaign, because your team will triple after the first campaign, if not better. But I'm just saying it's going to triple. Within the first 90 days, it will triple. So if you got 10, 20, 30, 50, man, you're into money. You're already making money on day one that we launch. So to go back and answer your questions, you do not have to recruit if you don't want to. You will eventually be successful. And that, again, will depend on how you define success. Success for some people I want $100 a month. You'll be successful. Some others might say, I want 5,000 a month. Well, it'll take longer, but you will be successful. So what I do recommend is start sharing it. I really don't try to convince anybody anymore. I give them the information. I tell them what I'm doing, and I try to help them make the best decision for themselves. But I would certainly recommend start pre-building your network, because every founder, think about this. You're a founder. If you get one other founder, you just doubled your potential income. That's huge. You get another one in, bam, you just put another 30% to your potential income, and it grows and gets bigger. And each one of those people become a team for you that grows in perpetuity. It'll grow forever. I mean, it's going to become a legacy for you. So absolutely pre-build, take advantage of what GoFounders has. Take advantage of the opportunity to pre-build your network. You don't have to get stressed out over it. Just share it. Shove them to my website and just make sure that they know that at the end of every one of my videos, I say, go back to the guy that talked to you, go back to the founder that talked to you and join in that team. All the information is there, and they can make some good decisions, and you guys can really grow fast. I mean, I've seen what you can do. Woo, baby. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, Jeffrey, thank you so much. Yeah, sharing is caring. The more I share with other people, more I care for them. I've taken the opportunity, and I want to share it with others so that they can also take advantage of it for their financial freedom. And I agree with you. Like, success depends on, like, different people have different definitions of success. So, and I get the point clearly that to build big, you got to share with a lot of people. And then, I do the same. I've been doing that the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tika. Thank you.
Thank you, Tika Dai, Tika sir, for question. Do you have one more question, Tika sir?
I don't. Thank you.
You are welcome. Jeffrey, you are. I have seen you in 19th position in the number of direct line in your team, right, Jeffrey? You are in 19th position. Like a team.
I don't know. I don't
So
know what. I don't know.
in the back office, when we see
Oh, you mean on the leaderboard?
leaderboard, sorry, leaderboard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You are in
Okay, I
9th.
thought you meant like, okay, okay. I don't know if that's the number, but yeah, I'm at the bottom of page 2 or something.
So you are able to share to a lot of people. So I think I saw 500 people in your direct line. Can you give me three? Can you give us 3 tips? What you tell, what you share, what you tell to people to join ONPASSIVE? You have 500 in your direct line, not your team. So do you have? Can you share 3 points that you tell to the prospects who we can convince, please?
Well, the first thing I tell them is never ever join anybody's team but mine. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I explain things to people that I talk to just like I'm talking to you guys. I don't try to convince them that this is it, but you know, once you start explaining how this is, and you start explaining the growth that's possible and where we're planning on going, and you think about the vision that Mr. Mufara had, and you talk about his heart, and you talk about the things that we're able to do with this kind of wealth and why this kind of wealth is here. And a lot of times too, like in the video, I will break down. I think I did this with Milo and Julie on their show, or I talked about the actual vision statement, you know, and that is such a powerful statement. I remember when I first went to Mr. Mufara a long time ago, he and I were talking on the phone, and I said, "Well, what is your vision? What is it that you want for this company?" And we talked about it a little bit, and a little bit later, he sent me an email that had all these ideas, and I took those ideas and I put them into what our current vision statement is, and sent that back and said, "Is this what you're looking for?" And he came back and said, "Right on, spot on." And you know what? There are 5 points in that vision statement that are phenomenal, and I went through them. I would encourage you to go to the last Julie and Milo show that I did with them a week and a half or so ago, because they got me caught up in that. And so I explained that. But in that, we also explained the structure of ONPASSIVE and why and how the money's going to be there, and why it's going to be there is big, right? And that it's in the design of ONPASSIVE to make sure that the money's going to be there. And when people start getting all this information, it's a foregone conclusion. They're going to join. I mean, they're going to join. So when you're talking to them, just keep in mind, this is not a let me spend 5 minutes with you and give me your $97. This is it's a process with people. It's a training process with people. It is a journey to get them from not knowing who we are and what we are, to get them to go across the bridge to understanding what that is. There are a lot of people, a lot of hurting people out there that have been scammed. They have been tricked. They have been lied to. They have been cheated. They have been stolen from, and they have no faith whatsoever in any online marketing at all. And as soon as you say, "Oh, we're the newest, biggest thing, come get rich," they're going to look at you and they're going to roll their eyes and go, "Yeah, I've heard that before. No, thank you." But when you start to really, in a very caring way, talk to them about what is possible, and you understand where they're at and why they're there, and you can show them how to go from where they are to where they want to be, it's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. If people start to understand it and can get past their own skepticism, their own critiquing of our system, then they'll join. And that's how you do it. I love what Milo says. He's changing the world one person at a time. And that's what you do. You know, you talk to them like you're their friend, because you know what? You are their friend. You are very good for them, and you want the best for them. And we are connected in that way. And that, I mean, look at the people we have on this one webinar. I got an email today from my lovely Karim. You know, I called her my first love of ONPASSIVE, but she sent me an email and said, hey, I've got a guy that's got an Arab webinar. Where else would I have ever been able to meet people like you? Where else would I have ever been able to come in contact and share time with, and share ideas with, and share some of our same qualities with, other than ONPASSIVE? Nowhere in my life. And let me tell you something. I was a member of 2 different militaries, right? I know, I've seen people. I've been all over the world, spent 3 years. I mean, Portugal, Gibraltar, Egypt, Singapore, spent 3 years in Spain. I have never seen anything like this. This is phenomenal. And this is how you do it. You talk to people, you give them your heart, you make it real, you make it, it's a regular guy, you know, it's a regular gal. It's just regular people doing wonderful things. It's regular people doing extraordinary things, and we're doing it through an extraordinary company. And when people start to understand that, and understand that our intention is to lift humanity, it is to be the equalizer, right? It's like Mr. Mufara says, this is the correction to the corruption. And we all know the corruption is out there. We know about the power moguls and the cabals, and we know about all the stuff that's going on, and we've been powerless to do anything about it. But we now have such a great degree of tools in our hands to make a difference worldwide, that when people with the right heart and the right mindset get this, they're gonna join, and then they're gonna start getting other people in, and there's no stopping us. And I know I got on my soapbox. I hope I answered the question.
Jeffrey, I have seen Narad's hand raised, but connecting to your question, to connect to my question, and okay, connected to my question, I have one question, but that is an optional. Okay, now when we approach to your friends, what is the priority? Your team is a priority, or your friends? You want to make your friend rich? Which one is the priority for you? You want to grow the team is the priority, or make him rich is the priority?
It is not your own. Our selfishness is got no it does. Let me put it this way. When we think of self, that is very limiting. It is very restrictive. But when we think of others and we think of the greater good, that is very expansive. So it's not necessarily intuitive. And what I'm saying here is that when you talk to somebody with the intent of growing your team and pulling them in to grow your team, they may join and they may help your team. But long term, it's not going to be as good as if you are talking to this person and you're telling them, my team really isn't that important. You are the one that's important. You are the one that is where you are, and you want to get over here. And I have a way that you can do that. Let me explain how you can do that. And as much as I would love to have you on my team, if somebody else has already talked to you, go back to them and join. Once I convince you, go back to them. And just, yeah, because you know what? It's just like any of the great masters says, right? It's just like, I mean, the one that I quote mostly is because I grew up with it. You know, it's the Bible, it's Jesus. He was a master as well, and a lot more. But he would tell you, it's not about me. It's about everybody else, and it's about us, and it's about doing what's right because it's right. So if we try to convince somebody to join ONPASSIVE because it's going to help us, we got the wrong mindset. And that's not an Ashma Mufara mindset. That's not an ONPASSIVE mindset. Our mindset should be, I've got something that I can share with you that will help you become what you want to become, and you can therefore help others as well. And that's what we want to do. We want to lift others up.
Thank you, Jeffrey. This is the exact message I want to share to our friends. We are not doing this thing. We are not inviting you guys. you friends, not for you, not for us, to make you learn and to share to our community, to make them learn and invite them to board in this on passive together.
Yeah.
And let us be all winner. This is exact the motto what we are doing right now. Otherwise, it is not necessary to do the Zoom every week, because if somebody can learn from by their own, then there are a lot of videos in YouTube and all. They are available everywhere. The main reason of calling different leaders to is to help us to understand this type of small point which makes big sense. So now, Narad, I just want to give a platform to Narad to ask two questions, please. Then we'll go to other person.
I have only one for now. So thank you, Morlock. Your answers are super. So they are crystal clear.
Not
and
not Marlo, not Marlo. He is Jeffrey.
Morlock. Jeffrey Morlock. I'm saying
Jeffrey.
Morlock.
Okay.
So let me jump to the question. In the ebook, at the I think end of or mid of the ebook, I found one very nice thing, and I want to quote from there, and I will put a short question after that. If someone said it is magical, then you replied them, they are right. The features, the fairness, the technology, and then the compensation plan. What do you think the compensation plan would be, or how is it magical to all of us? If you cannot show the exact compensation plan, we just want to know what would be, just in let us see around the bush. So what would be our compensation plan? Thank you.
That's great. I love it. By the way, did you know that that was something that I think it was a quote from Mr. Mufar when he said, if you think it's magical, you're right. I think that was one of the first things he said a long time ago. But concerning everything within ONPASSIVE, I will preface it by saying that Arthur Clarke, he was a science fiction writer, and I loved his books growing up. And he was the one that said, and I'm not quoting it, but I am going to paraphrase what he said. He said, you know, there's a lot of technology out there, and if you don't understand the technology, it's as good as magic. And that's what he said. And that's what we're saying about ONPASSIVE, is that our technology is that good. Our heart is that good. Everything about it, it's just magical. And when you think of magical, ask a kid, your child, what is magical? Oh, they're going to get starry-eyed, and they're going to tell you how wonderful things can be and how it really doesn't fit maybe into reality, but oh, how glorious it is. And that's what we mean by magical. Now, concerning the compensation plan, you know, we can't play with numbers. I can't tell you numbers. I don't even know the numbers, but I can put it like this, and I will bring you back to the vision statement, and that Mr. Mufara is going to ensure that the money that we make will be more than what we need. I mean, that to me is magical, because quite frankly, I've never in my life earned more than I could use or need. So that's one way of looking at it. But the other way of being magical, and this is more an esoteric sense that I put into this, and this has to do with our mindset.
What happened?
All one together with the same intent and the same ideas and the same wanting, right? And so the energy just starts growing and growing and growing. And it's magical like that. Look where we were back 2 years ago, and look where we are now. Look at the growth. And Not only that, but look at the energy that every one of us are now. Man, you got webinars popping up all over the place. You know, you got 570,000 founder accounts that are active with lots of people doing lots of things. And we all want to get better and bigger and fatter and sweeter. And even more than that, if you want to see something magical, something that's never happened before, look at the global net of founders we are creating that will each one, right, no matter what country they're in. I'm sitting over here in America. We make some pretty good money when it's relative to another country. In other words, compared to what somebody in another country might make, I might make a lot more. But by the same token, my expenses are a lot more. So it kind of evens all out. Now we've got 570, getting pretty close to 600,000 founders spread out all over the world in all sorts of different cultures. And every one of those cultures that these people are in, these founders are going to make more money than they need so they can spread whatever excess they've got to that culture. That's absolutely miracle. I mean, that's wow. Think about that. Because that is now saying that we are exactly as Mr. Mufara has wanted. We are the correction. We're taking the disadvantages of every culture on earth and we're leveling the playing field, so to speak, and we are providing exactly what is needed in each particular culture, and we're raising the entire planet. And if that's not magical, I need to find a new dictionary because that's what I'm thinking. This is absolutely magical, and I love it, and I am on top of it, and I'm on board, and I really hope I can see that you guys are too. So I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Jeffrey, and thank you, Narayan, for the question. Now let me go to Kambai. Kambai, please unmute, and can you open the camera too, please? Kambai. He's in a bookstore. Go ahead, bhai. On mute box. You are muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Brother Narayan, and thank you so much to our guest, Jeff. I have a quick question because so many people are asking me about ONPASSIVE, and there are so many questions we have. We haven't got answer about it. On our last meetings, we asked some question and we did not get the real answer about it. So I would expect a real answer from Jeff.
I hope I can give it to
you. Sorry, can you tell us, like, we have so many people in my chain that are asking me what's ONPASSIVE is about, or how can we trust them? There are so many companies there. I'm in ID business, so I'm in software, so I need to tell them exactly what passive is about, and I do not know exactly what it is about. So that's my first question. And the second one is, are we we haven't launched anything yet, or maybe we launched something, but in total we haven't launched anything. So I mean, once the company comes into the market, there are chances that this company goes up or down. We don't know about it, right? Okay. So what can I tell to the person that's wanting to join ONPASSIVE?
Okay, so it sounds like there's three questions here. You want to know what is ONPASSIVE, why should we trust ONPASSIVE, and what do we think is going to happen once we launch? Are we really going to be what we say we are?
Jeffrey, can I stop me? By what time you join this meeting? By what time you join in the meeting? I'm just asking Kambai. Did you join at 9 o'clock or not? Kambai.
Other 9 o'clock now.
Oh, you joined in 9 o'clock. Okay. Jeffrey has just spoke about ONPASSIVE before. Okay, go ahead, Jeffrey.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be straightforward for you. It'll be something you can help explain. First of all, OnPassive is an AI IT company. We're a huge company. We got 50 departments. We have cutting edge technology. And in short, we are an abbreviation of your internet. Anything that you need for an online presence to build a business or whatever, we have under our roof, cutting edge technology. We own it, and you don't have to go anywhere else for anything that you might need. So that's what we are, a huge AI IT company. Secondarily, you know, when you say, well, why should I trust you? I hope you got a few minutes, because I don't want to just tell you why you should trust us. I want
Right.
you to be able to look back and trust because of what you've seen. So if you look back at, and by the way, there's some videos about this on my site. I think a good one would be the GoFounders journey. The journey continues. But if you look at where we started and you look at where we are and you go back month by month by month by month, and you realize when we first started, we had I think it was $100,000 budget, and we expected to launch in 90 days. Well, as soon as we flipped over into the new year of 2019, and we had 12 to 14,000 founders, that was probably 3 times more than Mr. Mufara ever thought that we'd ever have to begin with. And at that point, the Calcutta office, going into 2019, the first priority, realizing that we were growing so fast, was to revamp GoFounders for the first time. And that's so that was their priority tasking.
Right.
Moving further, you know, by April of 2019, when Mr. Mufara said we finally got it right, because I'm gonna tell you, we were struggling. Everybody in the world was saying, ha ha, I told you, never gonna happen. Well, they didn't see what was going on behind the scenes, and
Right.
that we were growing. And now we had doubled the founder base again. We're up to 25,000 founders, and we're going, whoa. And so then the developers all said, wait a minute, we got to stop, because if we keep going like this, we will implode. We can't. So they had to reconfigure what they wanted to do. They had to come up with a new game plan, and they had to come up with a lot more money. Well, 3-4 months later, it happened again. More budgeting, more plans. So instead of being a regular platform, a digital marketing platform with, you know, a dozen products, now we're a much bigger, heftier program. Now we've got a lot more than 12 products. And then the next step was, gee, we don't want anybody coming in and telling us what to do. We don't want anybody owning any part of the decision. So in order to do that, we can't have any secondhand software. We can't have any third-party vendors. And we certainly don't want anybody being able to buy our stock. So we're going to have to write it all ourselves. And we're going to have to make it smart and make it good, and not invite anybody in, so that we own it all. So nobody can say, you can do this or you can do that. The next step was them saying, oh, gee, this isn't going to be good enough, because now we've got all these products and they all work, but they're not really working real well together. We want to write our own AI, and we want to integrate these and completely automate them, which is what the AI was for. And by the way, that took a lot more money. So now we're up to 25 or 30 departments, and we're cruising, right? I mean, so if you can see where we were and where we are, especially if you're in tech, you can follow that, and you can follow
Right.
the logic of where we're going with this, and you
Right.
follow the founder base. Anybody with some patience is going to look at that and go, wow. Now, there's also webinars in the past that you can review where it's real clear that Mr. Mufara has said and continues to say that not only are we owning everything, and not only do we have everything that you need, and not only is it cutting edge and better than anything out there, and not only is it better than anything out there, but it's also less expensive than anything. But on top of that, we have built into it the ability to upgrade continually, so that when we do move forward, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is all modular stuff. They keep the core. Now, eventually, they'll probably have to rewrite some of the AI or something down the road.
Right.
But the
Right.
whole thing has been designed with a long picture, right? With the future in mind. So
Yeah,
that
can I ask you a quick question on that? Being an IT professional, I work there. So I mean, what's the future is going to be for the founders? Like, you know, the person that's there before the, you know, before the software is launched, all the founders, will they be profited, or will there be any chances that they can make some income out of it?
the founders.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure that I just heard. You're asking me if there's an opportunity for founders to make money.
Yes.
Well, the short answer is yeah. But even more than that, not only will they make money, but they will make more money than they've ever made before in their lives. Not only will they make a lot of money, but they'll make enough money not only for their families, but to be able to help their neighbors and their community and maybe even their country. And not only will they make that much money, but this money will perpetually grow in perpetuity, and they will be able to leave it as a legacy, as an inheritance to their family and friends or whoever they want to. This
That's
is
wonderful.
huge, and this is big, and this is also part of the design.
Right. I mean, does it make like somebody making a chain, like, you know, keeping like 3 people or like 100 people? Uh, so, I mean, what's the difference like being an individual person uh, and person that has the chain? You know, person has like 3 or 4 people uh, assigned under them. What's the difference on that?
Okay, it sounded like you're asking about the difference of the person, but I don't think that's what I think. What you're asking is what's the difference between having a team and not having a team?
That's correct.
Okay, if you don't have a team, you will be successful. OnPassive will make you successful. It's just going to take a little longer. If you do have a team, the more that is in your team, the faster your success will be and the greater your success will be.
Okay.
Milo,
Thank
did you
you.
have, you
Thank
want
you,
to add
Khembai.
something to that? Or
Marlo,
Julie?
yes.
Okay.
Julie, anything to add, Julie?
Yes, yes. If I may add into that a little bit, when I heard you ask about, hi Milo, when I heard you ask about whether or not the founder is making money, I say absolutely. Do you see how in OnPassive, we don't make money. We made a little bit of bonus of who we brought into the company. It's just a little tiny bonus. I believe that we have to look into the product, what OnPassive is creating. It's an AI technology. It's about 40 to 50 products. And that is where the most, I said, abundance of apples that we're making. It's not a money where we only pay $97 and then the beginning packets, that's where we make money. No, we make money on those after the soft launch, and we make only a little bit of bonus on there. But the biggest part of it is based on the product that the company is selling. I mean, many of us right now are the customer, and many of us are right now are actually going to be a reseller of our products. So that part is what I believe that you were asking, whether or not the founder is making money or not. Did I answer your question? And Milo
Yeah,
has something to add to that as
you
well.
did. And also, I have a quick question to Julie on that. Like, you know, we as a founder, we have a contribution to the company, and we, I mean, like making a team. Or is there any other responsibility that the founder has that's, you know, that enable all of us to go forward and make more money out of it?
Absolutely. You know what? I don't know if you remember Michael Williams said, all you have to do is get in. That's all he said, because he's a number guy. He understands the technology. And I don't know if you know who Michael Williams is. Michael Williams is an automatic
internet millionaire. He's a multimillionaire. He has been working on this internet system for over 10 years, and he's a millionaire. But what he said to us is, all you have to do is get in. And yes, all you have to do is get in. You don't have to do any of that. But if you, but let me ask you a bit. When you spend that $97, you actually spend money to build your business. And if you do nothing, and if you're waiting for somebody to build your business, it's going to take a very long time. And if we don't have the technology that ONPASSIVE built, we could just sit there and wait for somebody to build a business for us. It's never going to make us the money that we want. We have to literally work on it. Mr. Ashmofar doesn't ask us to do that. What he asks us is to share it with everybody. And the only way for you to understand ONPASSIVE is, you don't need to understand how the product works, but if you understand the vision of it, you will not stop sharing. It's because it is created for every single one of us, even a little baby to a 110 years old person. You don't have to know the technology. You don't have to know the computer, but if you can just stay plugged in, you still can be successful. Now, you asking whether or not you should build a team. I would say absolutely. Even he said this in one of the webinar. He said, right now, if 570,000 of us requested to get that money returning back to us, he will give it back every penny, but he's still going to launch ONPASSIVE. So what he's saying is that ONPASSIVE, the company itself, is already self-funding. It's already done. There's no debt to it. He can still launch it. But why do he need us to do it? He need us because he wants the world to understand the fact that ONPASSIVity is going to change humanity. Not only that, it's making better for each and every one of us who involved. So when you building a team, it's just helping the company moving. It's basically, to me, I feel like it is a ship. And if all of us are working together, the ship will move faster and it goes safer. And that just basically on what my observation is when I connecting the dots of ONPASSIVE and what I get to know so far of ONPASSIVE and see Mr. Ashmofar's heart. And that's when I connecting the dots and I make the decision and the conclusion for myself.
It's more like a team.
Thank you, Julie. Milo, do you have anything to add, Milo?
I do. Beautifully said by Jeffrey and Julie, you know, but what I would like to say is it's not a matter, you know, you said, will we make money? It's not a matter of will we. This is not a pie in the sky thing. This is a done deal. I mean, this is already done. The computer, I believe that Mr. Ashman-Farrell and myself included, because of AI and stuff, knows that that computer, he can make that, he can bring people in. Whether we want to be part of it or not, it doesn't matter. It's gonna happen. It's like when you have technology, the train is moving towards you and you either got a couple choices. You can get on the train and move with it, or you can get run over by the train, or you can step off to the side and then chase it later. But it will happen. It's not a matter of when it will. It's kind of like when you, I like to think that, you know, when you go to work and you put in the work, then you expect a check, right? And the check is going to be there on Friday for you. We don't question that in our mind because it's happened before. But this is kind of like we're starting, but I guarantee you when it starts, the check's going to be there. The money's in the bank, you know. This is a done deal. And it was so profound what Julie said, you know, that Ashma-Farrell said, look, if all of you, every one of you want your money back, it doesn't matter because he knows that it will be done, you know, whether we're with him or not. I don't know about you, but I want to be with it. I want to be on the train that's going that way. All right.
Right.
And let me,
Thank you very much, Milo. Cambai, I gave you 3 questions. Actually, दुईटा मात्रै दिनुपर्ने, 3टा दिए मैले. Good questions. You had a good question. So hope that most of our friends, they got what Cambai has asked. So
can I go back and explain something else? Something that didn't get explained?
Come on.
Yeah. Kayam, you asked, do the founders have responsibilities? The answer is yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was actually that was my major question there.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's get back to it because we didn't answer it, and I was just waiting.
Yeah.
But the answer is yes. We certainly have responsibilities. First of all, we have an ONPASSIVE standard that we need to uphold. Okay, so we need to certainly pay attention to that NDA. We don't need to be bad mouthing our company or doing anything bad against the company. Secondarily, we've got a lot of things in that back office that we're able to use, right? And part of that is for beta testing. We have a responsibility to help with the beta testing so that when we start doing this beta testing and these starts coming into our GoFounders back room, all these products, we need to get in there and poke them and push buttons and click icons and see what breaks. That's the whole idea. You know that being a tech, you know it's got to be tested, and that's how we do it. And that's one of the things the founders are there for, so that we can get in there and see if we can. And as she's already said, you ain't going to break it. Okay. You're not going to break them, but you will show them valuable weaknesses or challenges within the software and with the programs, with the AI, with the money flow, all the stuff we're testing. So yeah, we have a responsibility for that as well. We have a responsibility.
Sorry to interrupt you. I mean, for some instance, like, you know, if the product have some IT problem, let me say a problem there. If you are launching a software, will there be like 100% agreed by the IT professional, or it's more like it's okay and launch it?
No, it's not launch until it's ready. And that's why we've got more than 500,000. You know, when they do the alpha testing, and you probably know this, they do the alpha testing, it's only getting 50, 60, 100, you know, it's not getting run very hard, right?
Right.
When we start throwing it into the GoFounders and you start opening it up in 500,000 or better accounts, and you start ramping up, right? You put that thing under a test, under a load, you're going to see what creaks and cracks and what breaks. And then you stop, you fix it, and you start it all over. You ramp it back up and until it's running and purring like a kitten, and you go, now she's ready. And it will not launch until we're ready. And that's one of the reasons that our launch has been pushed out, is because we're nowhere near ready. And that's one of the things back again, when people said, what's going to happen when we launch? Are we going to go up or down? We will not fail. Failure is not an option. Ashley said that. And we're going to make sure that the design and the technology is 100% before we even open that door, because we do not want to crash and get mud on our face after we launch.
Thank you, Kembai. Thank you very much. Jeffrey, you pointed out that failure is not our option. Failure is not our option. So by any means, we have to be correct. Thank you, Kembai, for your questions.
Narayan, sir, I just want to thank everybody for.
Thank you. Well, you are welcome. Friends, we have our friend from Canada, M. Kelly. Hi, M. Kelly. Can you jump out and share some of your feelings, please? What you have learned from ONPASSIVE and what you are sharing ONPASSIVE in Canada. 2 minutes time, please. M. Kelly.
I think she might left. So we have one questions in the chat box.
That I want to ask our friends to jump out, unmute your phone, open your camera, and ask your question by yourself, because our good friends are here. Jeffrey is our brother, Milo is Milo brother, second brother, and Julie is our sister. So we don't have to be scared of asking the question. Please jump in. Who has got? We will not read the question which is written in the chat box. Please get out and ask the question, please. It is not for only us. It is for all of you. So
Arpitaji is ready. Arpitaji.
330-351-6852 number. Ma'am, go ahead and ask. Please tell your name and go ahead with the question, please.
Hello, yeah, good evening. My name is Bina. I'm from Akron. I just have one question. I have understood a little bit about on passive, and I have been sharing with my friends. They really believe on it and they trust me. But still, I just wanted to ask like small query. Like I know in the end of March, soft launch will going to happen, but after I know after 2 to 3 months hard launch will also take place, but I just want to know how really how true it is. Like it might take 3 4 months or 2 to 3 months, I don't know. That's why I was asking that question. Could you please tell me? Thank you.
I love it. Yes, thank you so much for that question. I tell you, I had to laugh because I are there as I say in my hillbilly. Um, I have tried so many times to figure out when we were going to launch, and after a while I just stopped because every time I tried, we came up with new information, we grew, things changed, and it pushed the launch out. The trajectory changed. So, but to answer your question, I know that Mr. Mufara had said that in September, I think the academy was going to be in all the schools. So we've obviously got to launch before then. I know that we are going to spend some time in soft launch. And by that, I mean the price will increase and we'll start running the market and the money flow programs and things like that, and beta testing. We're going to have to be in that for, who knows how long, but in my opinion, it'll be at least 2 3 months, maybe. I'm not sure. But whenever they're ready, then they'll start releasing the products. And at that point, we will have what we call hard launch. Although we will not be launching every product at the same time. We're going to be unrolling those even as they go through beta. So there's going to be a process there. We're not really sure how that's going to work. And Mr. Mufara hasn't shared that. But in answering your question, yeah, I would expect probably somewhere in June that we might have the beginning of a hard launch. But nobody can really say. But that's just my best guess right now. Milo, Julie, what do you guys think?
Man, I quit guessing, but I'm kind of like you. I have no idea. I think it's going to be fairly quick, myself, but that's me. I don't think it's going to be real long drawn out. But I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have the answer. I do know that when it launches, it's going to be big, it's going to be massive. And I know that when it does launch, all of us are going to be happy people that are here. And hey, I would just like to take this time to thank you guys.
Milo, 1 minute, Milo. M. Kelly, I'm very sorry. M. Kelly is the LC leader. She joined us from Canada, and I was really confused who is M. Kelly. Please, I want to welcome M. Kelly and give us your experience. Give us your experience, what you have learned and what you have shared to a lot of our friends in Canada. I'm very sorry that I couldn't recognize you. M. Kelly is the leadership council. She's in leadership council. Let's give her the floor. Then I'll go to RP Subba Daju for the question. And Bina Didi, thank you very much for your question. I saw your face today. I was not know that who was putting that question. Thank you. M. Kelly, ma'am. Your camera, ma'am.
We see your mic goes off, but we can't hear you, M. Kelly.
Is there anything wrong or?
We see that there's a mic show up, but there's no camera. If she could leave and then come back in, it usually resets it somehow.
Thank you, Julie. Milo, he has another Zoom meeting he was telling me, and Julie too, right, Julie? Thank you
Yes,
very much
yes.
for joining to us. So you guys are all rounders. So thank you for giving us the time.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Before I go,
everyone.
I like to say a little bit about the launch date. None of us know when's the launch date, but this is how I run it. I know that Ash is measure every single steps that he takes, and when he launch it, he wants to be launching a tsunami. When tsunami, it's not a good word to use, but I don't have a better word, and I feel that when he launch it, is going to be a tsunami in the world, and it's going to rock the digital world, and it's going to rock the financial world, and I believe in him completely, you know. And the reason why I say this is because I see the bigger picture of what ONPASSIVE will do for us, for many of us. And so I'm not worried about the launch. Of course, I hope that it launched soon, just like everyone else. But I believe that, you know, look at the current situation in the world and everything in the US. I wanted to launch when everybody's ready for it to come, because when it's ready, when all of us ready to come, because remember the true goal vision of him wants to launch this is to uplift the condition of the human and uniting the humanity. And I believe when he see it's ready, and he will do it. So it's gonna launch. And like I said earlier today, I said ONPASSIVE is going to be a new word in the world dictionary. And trust me, it will be there. So thank you so much for having Milo and I. We gotta have another show to do. So thank you so much.
Thank
Thumbs
you,
up.
Narayan, Narad, and Jeffrey. You were awesome tonight, man. It's good to be with our friends. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Thank
Julia
you.
Marla. Have a good night. Now I don't know what problem MK ma'am has. She could not open the camera. I don't know what is wrong. Let me go to RP Subba, sir, for the question, please, sir.
Yeah, hello. Hello to everybody. Special thanks to Jeffrey, Milo, Julie, and Kelly, who is of course not here. So hats off to you guys. My question is to Jeffrey. And since you are the person who has authored the ebook, I've been trying to check the ebook in the back office, and I have not noticed any updates. Maybe I'm in the blind spot. So is there a time frame when this will be uploaded in the back office, or is it already there?
And my apologies for that. I actually did update it, and much to my embarrassment, I did not understand that it was really still being used a lot, and a lot of people have kind of called me out on that. I have updated as of January of this year, and I made a copy available to Narayan, and he does have that. I will send that to the support team and ask them to upload to the back and replace the one that's in there. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. I know that I did probably 20 or 22 translations over a period of time, and some others have done some translations, but I don't have the time to go and do other translations. So the only one that I do have is the English one, but it is updated. I will send that to tech support and ask them to upload that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Your sound.
Sorry. Thank you, RP, sir, for reminding our friend Jeffrey, Leadership Council member, to upload the revised version of ONPASSIVE ebook in back office. I have got a copy from him yesterday, and I have shared to few of our friends, and I have asked the email to send you if you send me an email, I'll send you. I'll send you that book to you. What Jeffrey has sent it to me. Still, I want to call M. Kelly, Leadership Council member, to open the camera and Jeffrey, can you tell me what is wrong here? Why she cannot jump? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. I was noticing that when we called her, that her mic
Is this the
went live.
Is this the phone which is ringing? Is from Canada? I don't know. I'm waiting for ONPASSIVE. Done deal. We don't have to worry of all these devices, right? When ONPASSIVE comes, all done deal.
Let us continue. I think Kaka has some question from Bhutan. Kaka.
Okay. Kaka, do you have a question? If you have, you can go ahead and.
Actually, I don't have any question, but then I just want to thank Jeffrey, Milo, and Julie. You might have seen me, Ravilal Pokhrel from Bhutan. I don't know how many of us from Bhutan have been connected to this meeting today. Maybe very few of us. So I could get a copy of your ebook. Now it's our ebook, the revised one, and I went through it. It's a wonderful book, but just before uploading it at our back office, it may be better if it can be proofread once to see any typo and all this. I came across few typos. I think our people at the Leadership Council will take care of it, whoever is going to upload in our back office. And it's a wonderful book. In fact, I don't have any question. All my fellow founders in US are my downline, some relatives, my good friends, close friends. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of them. They are doing wonderful job, and we are all in it to win it. And with your guidance, people from Leadership Council and all these webinars going around the world, I think we are going to do something big, which at this moment we are not in a position to imagine also. Every time I see Ash Mufara, Jeffrey, Dr. Bill Williams, Mike Williams, and all these, they are all fantastic people. And our CEO with his heart, every time we say, it is the heart. We have to understand the beat of his heart. And I think it's better if our heart also start beating like him only. And I really want to thank all the people, all the wonderful people who have joined ONPASSIVE. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Jeffrey, go ahead.
Was there a question?
No, I heard that you are speaking. That is why I'm giving.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just wanted to thank Mr. Pokhrel. That was wonderful.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
I think Madhav Khanal has
question.
Yeah, I think so.
Madhav Khanal. Before Madhav Khanal, sir, please. I want Galaxy A50 with the Baku Go. Sir, do you have any questions, sir? Galaxy A50. Do you have any question, please? I know that you have joined from Bhutan. So if you have any question, please. Unmute. You are muted. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Narad sir, and especially to Mr. Jaffrey and RP Kaka, Ravilal sir, who is also from here, Bhutan. I'm from Bhutan here, and I don't have a question as such, but I'm very happy to join this webinar, but though I was late, but still then it was very good to hear from all the leaders, and especially Narad sir, who is working hard for this, and not to forget about other people, those who are also trying very hard for to give this opportunity to people. And I also got opportunity, especially my wife first joined from RP Subasar, who is related to her, my wife. And I joined under my wife. Then I slowly came to know about these webinars as RP Kaka, he was telling us and advising us again and again from USA. And I'm very happy to listen to Mr. Milo, Julie, and I've been listening to all the webinars and getting the information by listening and to what the leaders are saying. I didn't want to ask any question, but I just wanted to listen, because listening is the best part of this webinar. You get all the information of all the people around. And I've been following the ONPASSIVE South Africa also. I have joined that group, but I didn't join their webinar, but I've been following their move. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. This is my first time speaking in the webinar, and Mr. Jaffrey, it's very good to hear, get information, what you say, and especially you are the responsible person for that ebook. And I have been listening to RP sir and Ravilal sir. We have been going through that, and this is a good time, good place. We are in it to win it. And for your information, please, I will show you a little bit of Thimphu town. I'm just in the building, Thimphu town, a little bit. Jeffrey, you can also see our Bhutan, Thimphu here. That is our Bank of Bhutan BOP. So this is Thimphu.
Love it.
This is Thimphu, but it is not like USA. Our Thimphu is a small capital with very less cars, and in fact, beautiful people around here.
Wow. Yeah, look like it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I know your name, sir?
My name is Gagan Rai.
Did I speak with you last
yes,
last
yes.
week? Oh.
Yes, I spoke with you last time.
Oh,
and
yes,
you have sent me the ebook in my email also.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, sir, for showing us a little picture of Bhutan. And Jeffrey, I just want to share here the whole team which joined here today. I think 98% are from Bhutan. Okay, we all are from Bhutan, but we migrated to the USA in due course of time. So we are interconnected with friends and families back in Bhutan. Now, I just want to who was the who you said?
Prem Mama
Okay.
has. Cam has
Okay.
already asked more than 4
Yeah,
questions.
no, you have said me.
Oh, sorry,
Kanal.
Madhav and Prem. Yeah, Madhav and Prem.
First
Prem
of all,
Mama.
let me give chance to Madhav sir. Madhav sir.
Hello, Madhav sir, दुईजना हुनुहुन्छ कि मेरै नाम हो भन्ने कुरो भयो कि अरु पनि हुनुहुन्छ?
तपाईले लिनुस् न ल ठाउँ ल go ahead.
Let me ask Mr. Jeffrey the question. My question is, you are saying that company is making unfailed products, so they are launching unfailed products. So can you explain more about it? Because there are already established company the ONPASSIVE has to compete with. So how the ONPASSIVE product will be unfailed in the market?
Let me make sure I understand it. Whoa.
How can you justify like
I want to make sure that I understand the question. And I think the question is, how are we going to be able to compete, and how are they going to unroll it? Is that right?
yes, sir. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. On passive, one of the main things that OnPassive has got going for it is the fact that we now have, I'll say 50 departments. There's give or take a few, and there's going to be more. And those 50 departments have tools, services. They have softwares in them that all work together, that primarily was written from scratch. We own every bit of it. So that's one advantage. Secondarily, it's all under one roof, so you don't have to go anywhere else to piecemeal something together. You can get it all in one spot. That's another advantage. And because it is done completely and it's integrated and has our own AI, so it's automated, it's completely automated. You don't have to try to see if two separate things are going to work together like you do now. You know, I mean, you may go get a domain from somebody and a hosting from somebody else, or you may go get funnels from somebody else and hoping that that works together. Every bit of our stuff does work together. It is brand new. It is also cutting edge. It is fresh. That's the crux of everything that OnPassive is. So when you take all that and you put together that with the idea that it's a lot less expensive than anything else out there, then even those people that have businesses outside of OnPassive will come to us, because our equipment is all in one place. It's a lot less expensive, and it's a whole lot better. Now, as far as unfurling or unrolling or rolling out OnPassive to the public, it's not going to be all 50 departments at one, because we're going to have to go through alpha testing, then beta testing, and then unlaunch them. Or then we're going to have to launch the products. So we may end up going through 1, 2, 3, 4 products at a time or something like that. But it'll be, I mean, we'll have a grand opening, so to speak, but it will be a continual process for quite a while. And then even after launch, another thing that a lot of folks that aren't talking about is that we have phased or planned phases after rollout, that we're going to be introducing more products. There's inventions that are going to be introduced. There are milestones that we know we're going to hit. We've already got plans for those over the next 1, 2, and 3 and 4 years that are going to keep us ahead of the market and going to keep us strong in the market. So when you put all that together, then it compares so nicely to everything out there that we're head and shoulders above anything that currently exists. Not to mention the fact that our technicians, I mean, we've got the best of the best, and the development that they've done has put us ahead of the market by, I would say, 3 to 5 years. So when you put all that together, we got a heck of a wallop that we're going to put on the economy, and we're going to have a lot of people coming straight to us simply because we're that much better. I hope that answered the question.
Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Now, actually, I have requested Jeffrey Morlock for 2 hours. Almost we have crossed 2 hours because we started a little late, because it's our habit joining late. That is why we were about 20 minutes late. So I saw RP Subba, sir. He has asked only one question and he has raised his hand. Is it for the question, sir?
Let Premji take the place now, and I'll come after that.
Okay, so Prem Gimire, sir, please unmute and put the question what you have.
Hello, everybody. This is Prem Gimire from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So,
hey, Prem.
Reading makes a fool man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. Am I right?
Sounds like it.
So I'm proud to attend this webinar with a writer, and you are an exact man. I really appreciate your presentation, and now I believe that you are someone who takes away the dross and refines the ores, creating a noble element in the process. Thank you very much.
I love it. Thank you.
So I don't have questions. Almost all the questions and concerns have been already covered. So I hope ONPASSIVE will try to destroy all the boundaries of the countries and make us the citizen of one global village. Thank you very much.
Amen.
Thank you,
Amen.
Prem Mama. One thing I want to add to our friends. All of us are leader, same category. We are all equal. Any of you can arrange a Zoom meeting, because this is arranged by me. Nobody has paid to me. Nobody has paid money. So it is for the welfare of our friends to know more about ONPASSIVE and to educate your friends downline, or whatever word you want to say. So anybody is, nobody stop you to arrange the Zoom meeting. You can call the leaders, you get connected with them, you ask questions, you can email them. There is an email in the back office. You can ask 100 questions to them. They will answer your question. Like Jeffrey, day before yesterday, I have asked one question which my friend has put me. I asked him, he gave me the answer. Henceforth, if you have any questions, go to the back office. Who you want to ask? There are 56 leaders in Leadership Council. You can ask any of them. They are really happy to give the answers. We are only acting as a bridge to connect the leader and friends who wants to learn more about it. But my suggestion, we are not in the Leadership Council. We don't have exact answer as Leadership Council has got. So we have to follow them. We have to learn from their videos. My heartily request is to request your friends to ask the questions ask questions to leaders. There are emails, and frankly saying, I have not seen anyone from my team in this group. I have one or two. I'm doing all for you all guys. Nobody, one or two guys are there from my team, exactly from my team. But then also I'm arranging this meeting just to educate our friends to learn. And one thing, what I learned from Jeffrey today is that it is not for your team, it is not for my team to grow. It is you to educate, to share to the friends, and learn more about it. I think what is ONPASSIVE, to know what is ONPASSIVE, I think our friend has to sit one African webinar, and you have to listen Charles Oslo and ask him the question, what he says. If you disagree, $97, get it back, finish. If you have if you are still spectacles, go, okay. Nobody forced to join here. Nobody. You have to be convinced yourself. You should know what is ONPASSIVE is. You should know the value of products, and moreover, friends who are educated in America, you know about the IT products, how they work, what are the benefits. You know how to use the products more than what we do, because we are educated back in country, Bhutan, Nepal, so we were not facilitated so much with those IT products at the time when we were in education. So my request to my friends is, please see the videos, ask the questions to the Leadership Council in the back office. You can write email, you will get the answer. And one thing I want to add, some of the friends, they want to get the money back. Oh yes, write down in what is that, in the back office. Go to the back office. If you are not convinced, write an email and follow the instruction what you will get, in what they ask to get you money back. Some of our friends, they have bought bought card, Visa card from Walmart or somewhere, from Best Buy, from CVS Pharmacy, and they paid it. It goes the money. We can pay from that card. Yes, we are also, me also, I was suggested in the same way before at the beginning, but now I do not suggest any friend to do that. But if you want to return the money, I think that card is a problem because it can be loaded one time only. So I suggest my friends to, if you want to join it, paying from your debit card, credit card. You should know about your cards, because some of you are spectacles that, oh, something may happen, I have a little bit of money in the card, something wrong may happen. If you think like that, if you're scared, you arrange your own way to pay, and later on if you have to get the money back. I found that problem, so I don't know how that will be solved. So please follow my request, and we are helping for our friends only. Thank you for joining. I bought this Narad, me and Praja. We bought this Zoom for a month. Now tomorrow is my end date for the Zoom. So next month, whether I can buy it or not, that is why I arranged this meeting twice, 3 or 4 times in this 1 month period. So if I can be able to buy next time, I can call you guys. If not, some of you can, some of you buy it, please invite me. I want to listen to leaders more what they tell. Thank you very much for joining, Jeffrey Morlock.
Actually, Arpita ji ko okay, wait गर्नु भएको थियो कि प्रेम सरलाई चान्स दिएर फाइनल क्वेसन छ.
Arpita ji, any question?
No, I had something else to share, but if you do not have time, if you don't have time, it's okay. We can conclude it.
Raju, go ahead. 1-2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to thank Gagan Rai, who just spoke from Temple. So for Jeffrey's information, the cloth he was wearing is called Go. That's the national dress of Bhutan. It's called Go. We people of different cultures live in Bhutan, so that is the national dress worn by a particular section of the Buddhist population. And so when he was showing the town, Thimphu town, that's the capital city of Bhutan, that's the town. I went to school. There's a public school. So I went there when I was a teenager. So it made me so nostalgic. And I left Bhutan in 1990 as a refugee. So never been able to go back and visit the same town and the same schools and the neighborhoods that I grew up in. Okay, now, so thank you, Gagan, Joy, for that. I just wanted to say something about the system, following up the system here in ONPASSIVE. A lot of our friends seem to be really not aware of or not taking notice of anything that goes on in the webinars or the questions that have been answered by different personalities. So ONPASSIVE is like a system. For example, if you go to work in any department, in any company, there is a system. They follow a system. You cannot have it your way. So if you still want a job, you need to follow what it says. So you need to adhere and strictly follow the system the company wants you to follow. So here in ONPASSIVE, we want you to follow, we want us to follow the system it has. That is to plug in into the webinars, educational seminars, programs, and whatever interaction that goes on in the community. The questions we're asking, some of the questions are very basic. In 2 months, in 3 months, these are the questions that should have been already answered. Okay, but why are these questions coming back in a forum like this again and again? Is because we are lacking, we're ignorant of the webinars. We're not participating, and even if we're participating, we are not taking it seriously. So I will plead all our friends all our members to take webinars seriously, to take what our leaders like Jeffrey, Milo, Julie, they are doing tremendous job. And hats off to them every time they are coming here when it is when they have been requested by Narayan Bhai, and Narayan. Both are doing very fantastic job for every one of us. And their leadership has been very great. So these have been things that's been going on in my mind as I was listening to all these questions that have been asked here in the course of the webinar today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nara, take 2 minutes time. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would like to thank our special guest, Jeffrey Morlock, from the bottom core of our heart. I would just like to let you know how we are doing and what we are doing and how big we are. We are the newest, I think we are the newest community in ONPASSIVE. We have started only in the month of December, the end of December of 2020, through our uncle Rabilal Pokhrel, who is right here with us today. So we would like to thank from the entire team to